Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. So if you're anything like me, you're always on YouTube, just looking at food recipes, or that might just be me. Anyways, I came across this channel that made these amazing looking cinnamon rolls and I just had to try it out. I'll be sure to link their channel down in the description. So if you want to try these with me, go ahead and keep watching. For the ingredients, you're going to need 4 cups of all-purpose flour, half a cup of sugar, 1 cup of milk, 2 eggs, 1 tablespoon of active yeast, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 2 sticks of butter at room temperature, 1.5 cups of brown sugar, and 3 tablespoons of cinnamon. So once you have all your ingredients together, the first thing you're going to do is take your milk, and I want you to microwave it for about 50 seconds. Just pop that on and throw it in for 50 seconds. Or a minute, if you want to be risky. Once you have that milk nice and warm, go ahead and throw in your yeast and your 1 tablespoon of sugar. Give that a little stir, just so that yeast and that sugar can come into contact with each other. The yeast will feed off of the sugar. Once you have that all nice and mixed up, most of the lumps are out, you can go ahead and just tap off your fork and just set that mixture to the side for 5 minutes or until you complete the next few steps. So right now you're going to go ahead and preheat your oven to the lowest possible setting, the lowest possible heat setting. Mine goes down to 170. Just set it there and go ahead and turn on that oven. And then you're going to come back and take 4 tablespoons of butter. And put it in a microwave safe bowl or cup or anything that you want to melt it in. Just make sure it's microwave safe. You'll see why I'm telling you that right now. Fail. That is such a rookie move, guys. I knew better. So now it's in a microwave safe bowl and I just popped it in for about 30 seconds. So you're going to go ahead and put that yeast mixture into your mixer. If you don't have a stand mixer, you definitely can do this by hand. It's a little messier, but it can be done. So now you're going to add in your vanilla extract, your melted butter, and half of your flour. Only half for now. So once you get half of that flour in, go ahead and turn on your mixer to a low medium speed, just to get everything incorporated together. And once it's pretty much incorporated, you can go ahead and come back in with the rest of your flour. Throw in all of your sugar, and you're going to go ahead and crack 1 egg. For now, you're just going to put 1 egg in there. Go ahead and turn your mixer back on. I would say medium speed now, and it should look like this once it's all incorporated. Go ahead and add in your last egg. And I recommend you put it on a high medium speed. And you're going to mix this for about 5 minutes. And while that's mixing, you can go ahead and turn off your oven. And your dough should look like this by now. Everything's incorporated. It's going to be a little tacky, and that's okay. So take the remainder of that butter that you cut earlier and go ahead and grease a large bowl. This is to ensure that your dough doesn't stick, because you will be tossing it into this bowl. And the dough is, like I said, a little tacky. So just make sure to scrape everything down really good. You don't want to waste any of that dough. And plop it right into that bigger bowl. Come on, there, it's a little stuck. There we go. And then I just kind of folded it over itself, kind of to make a little ball. You can do this with your hand. It probably would be easier. I don't know why I took the hard way out. Just make it into a little ball. Make sure it's all on top of itself. And then take a kitchen towel, or you can even throw saran wrap or foil on top of this. Just make sure it's covered. And you're going to take this bowl and put it into that nice warm oven, and you're going to leave it there to rise for about an hour to an hour and a half, just until that dough doubles in size. So here is what my dough looks like now. It has doubled in size. It's nice and fluffy. It took about an hour and 15 minutes. It's pretty cold in my house, so that preheated oven definitely helps. Go ahead and flour your surface pretty well. You don't want that dough to stick. And just drop it right on and fold the edges into each other to kind of form a rectangle. That's pretty much your base shape that you're going to need. So this kind of helps you out. Flip it over, again making sure your surface is floured really well. And then you are just going to go ahead and roll this out into an even bigger rectangle. Try to roll it out as evenly as possible so that when you come back to roll it into a log, it's much easier. I have my dough all rolled out here, and I'm going to spread half a cup of softened butter all over. That's just that other stick you had laying around. Spread it all throughout the dough, and then take your brown sugar and your cinnamon and give it a good mix to mix it together. Again, you can probably use your hands for this part also. I'm just trying to be fancy. And then just sprinkle it all across your dough, evenly as possible. Sprinkle it on. Once I have it all sprinkled on there, I like to go in with my hands and spread it out. And once it's all spread out, I like to give it a little push into the dough just to make sure everything kind of sticks and stays in place. It looks good, so now I'm going to go ahead and start rolling it into a log, making sure I'm going up and down across that dough. So again, I can try to roll it as evenly as I possibly can. It's kind of hard because the dough is so soft, but as long as you're going up and down, you should be good. So here I have my log, and I go ahead and cut off my edges. Now I'm going to go right down the middle and cut it in the middle. Now with those two pieces, I go right down the middle again. And with each piece, I just continue to go right down the middle until I have my desired size. I should have made them this big. I should have stopped here. That would have been awesome. But I go ahead and I do it one more time to have these perfect little cinnamon roll pieces. Again, when you're rolling up that log, make sure you roll it up nice and tight. I didn't really roll it up tight enough, but you know what? They're still going to work. So I have a half sheet pan here. You can do 2 9x13s as well. And I just buttered it up so that my rolls don't stick. And when you're setting your rolls into the pan, make sure that you're leaving a pretty decent amount of space because they will rise. And in order for them to rise to their fullest potential, you need to give them some space. So they look like this. And I'm just going back in with my dish towels, and I'm going to pop those back into the oven for them to rise once more. I left them in there for about 45 minutes, but again, just until they've doubled in size. They're about ready to go, or I was being impatient, and I'm going to preheat my oven to 400 degrees. And while that's preheating, I'm going to begin making my frosting or icing, whatever you want to call it, topping for the cinnamon roll. You're going to need 2 cups of powdered sugar, 1 stick of butter at room temperature, 3 tablespoons of milk, and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. I just threw my butter in there, and I'm throwing in my powdered sugar. You can sift it in just to make sure that it doesn't come out lumpy. And then I'm going to go ahead and cream that butter and sugar together until it's nice and smooth. On low so that your powdered sugar doesn't fly everywhere. It can be very messy. And now I'm going to go ahead and throw in my vanilla extract and my milk. You can also, at this point, add in a block of cream cheese. I do recommend it. It is so good. I just didn't happen to have any on hand. But this is just a simple alternative to a cream cheese frosting. Just a nice little glaze to top off your cinnamon rolls with. But like I said, try it with cream cheese. You will not regret it. It is so amazing. So this is what it should look like when it's all done, and my cinnamon rolls are ready to be put in the oven. And I'm going to pop those in for 15 minutes. Whoops, I almost raised my temp. Don't do that. For 15 minutes. There we go. That's halfway through. They're nice and fluffy. They are looking really good. And as soon as they're out of the oven, you can go ahead and throw on that topping. So while it's warm, it can kind of melt in and look super delicious, just like the Cinnabons at the mall. That's the secret. You throw the frosting on while it's warm. And this is what they look like. Don't they look amazing? So I'm going to go ahead and have a piece now. I should have done like everyone else and showed myself eating it, but I'm shy. Look at that. It's so perfect. So let me know if you guys try this out. Make sure to check out that other YouTuber's channel. She has some really great recipes on there. Let me know what you want to see next, and I will be happy to get that out for you guys. Thank you so much for watching.